Good morning. So about a million years ago, I decided to custom build myself a desk for my office in the basement. I went with framing lumber and a farmhouse style. I certainly made this thing to last, and last it has, but I needed a laptop stand as I moved away from the big custom rigs, and by move away, I mean donated them to my teenager's gaming addiction. So off to the scrap pile I go. I found a leftover 1x12 and some more leftover fence picket cutoffs that should do the trick. I also tossed in some other small random scraps I found around the shop. First thing to do is clean up these fence posts, sacrificing them to the Mulch Maker 4000. If you've ever used a planer, you know just how much sawdust they make. I planed them down to about a ½ inch, cleaning up the edges and flattening them out. I also planed the 1x12, but that was just to clean it up a little. I barely removed any material. After that, I ripped them down to 1¼ inch slats. I also ripped a spare piece I had previously planed down as I decided to make 2 laptop holders. The slats will become the bottom of the laptop holder. I then ripped the slat about 3/4 of an inch to be the bottom rest for the laptop. I also ripped a scrap 2x4 to 1¼ inch square. This will be the back of the holder and will be used for some stability. After I had all my slats, laptop rest, and supports ripped down, I turned my attention to the 1x12. I carefully decided that I wanted a 30-degree incline as that seemed the most reasonable angle, and I wanted a 2-inch ledge in the front. So knowing all of that, I was able to figure out it would be 7 inches tall before the slats. I marked 7 inches and ripped down the piece I needed. By alternating the cut, I was able to get both pieces from one ripped piece, which minimized waste. Dang GoPros always get in my way. I then cut them down on the chop saw and began cutting everything down a size. The slats would be 11 inches. I needed a total of 5 for each stand. The laptop holder bottom lip would be 6½ inches. I also cut a 45-degree angle into each side. The bottom, front, and back support would be 9¾ and the sides would be 8 5/8. The final cut list is listed. With that, it was time to figure out how to cut the angle I would need. I thought about trying to cut this on some foam with a circular saw and a temporary fence, but decided it would be far easier to use my crosscut sled. I marked the angle I would need on all the pieces, and using the crosscut sled, lined up the start and end of the cut and used the built-in clamp that I made to hold it still. I'm kind of fond of my fingers. And just like that, I had the angle, and I only needed to repeat it on 4 pieces, 2 per holder. Next, it was time to rip out something I have yet to play with. I bought a router table off Facebook Marketplace almost 2 years ago, but haven't had a need, and my palm router did the trick most of the time. But I wanted to chamfer a bunch of those pieces. Fancy word means to route a small 45-degree angle on the edge of the pieces, but leaving a small flat spot. Not to be confused with a bevel, which goes all the way front to back. Because these were small pieces and not great for clamping down, it was time to pull out the router table. And like any good woodworker, we start with test pieces so we don't destroy the good ones. With all the pieces milled, it was time to get to finishing them, but first a stop in Boring Town. Time to sand them all down. It's worth noting here to be extra careful not to round over those nice chamfered edges. Trust me, it's really easy to do. I wanted the stand to match my desk. Remember this guy from the beginning? So the slats will be the same dark walnut stain and the sides, front, and supports will be white. But before that, I used a laser engraver to add a little Easter egg on the front laptop holder, just for fun. Next, I assemble the bottom and sides as they are going to be solid white so I can put them together before finish. I attach the front support lip and back support. I then attach the front laptop lip to one slat as it will be finished the same as well. I attach everything with a little glue and some brad nails to hold until the glue dries. Next, I paint the bottoms in solid white. This takes 2 coats to get done. Then I stain the slats a dark walnut. After everything is dry, the next thing to do is attach everything together. I attach a nameplate to the side and then use a slat to space everything and some glue and brad nails. And like that, I made a very sturdy laptop stand. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you try to make this or something similar, and I hope I inspired you a little to get out there and make something. Make sure to like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. Go make something.